orphan was to be separated, in my case, from my brothers and sisters. Chapter 1, The Orphanage. My father was an alcoholic, and my mother was mentally and emotionally unable to care for and protect her children. My siblings and I became named defendants before the juvenile court of Schuylkill County in Pennsylvania in a prosecution for neglected dependency brought by the supervising principal for the school district, a pastor, and a local police officer. The juvenile court's order was signed by Judge Dalton, December 20th, 1949, who ordered us, Connie, Thomas, Alvin, Alan, Ivan, Nancy, Beverly, and Georgina Stauffer to be committed to the St. Francis Orphan Asylum and detained there until further order of the court. I, Beverly, was 23 months old. My case as orphan, I was then adopted, but it also took me away from my brothers and sisters who had been at the orphanage with me. Being an orphan was certainly a feeling of being different. Many times in my life, the whole fact of real, as if we were not real because we were adopted. And that theme repeated itself throughout 30, at least 30 some years of my life. When I was 4, I was adopted. I went from the orphanage to a mansion of 48 rooms. I was just grateful. I was so grateful, but I also was afraid of being sent back. I had adoptive parents who did let me know that I should be very, very grateful that they adopted me when no one else wanted me. So I wanted to be very perfect, and I bent over backwards trying to be perfect, and I watched every move I made, and I just did not want to be sent back to the orphanage. One day on the playground, a group of other 7-year-old girls came up to me and asked, "Why don't you have real parents? Why did your parents give you away?" They took me by surprise, but I quickly thought of an answer. "My parents didn't give me away," I said. "They were killed in a car crash. I was with them and saw them die. Both my legs were broken, and that's why I'm so short. My father I have now was the doctor who took care of me, and that's how I came to live with him and my mom." I did not feel the pain of that experience until years later. Those girls viewed me as different, but they had sympathy for me and didn't ask again. I didn't know the true story of my birth parents at that time, but I was sure whatever it was could not have been helped. I told myself that my parents didn't want to give me away, and that when I grew up, I would find out the story. I would never admit it to anyone, but secretly, I suspected they gave me away because I was bad. For anyone looking to be an adoptive parent, I think you have to definitely look at the reality of the situation. That I've worked with a lot of adoptive parents. I am an adoptive parent. I've been an adopted kid. And don't go into adoption looking as though it's a fairy tale and everybody is going to live happily ever after. A lot of kids that get adopted because of some disruption in their life, and so then they carry that baggage, they carry the effects of that, they carry the effects of the initial rejection. I'd written a book, probably finished it by 2008, and it's really a very difficult book to put out there. And there's a lot of heartbreak with it, as well as a lot of joy. And at one point, I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, what is my purpose in living my life if not to share it? And in the sharing, others may have some hope who've been through situations like I have. There was abuse after abuse. And if I can help someone in terms of letting them know they can go through abuse, they can go through horrendous circumstances, it's a message of hope and hoping for what you want, but coping with what you have.